It's Madden NFL 24, and we've got a pair of teams who not long ago had more Super Bowls than anybody else. It's the boys and the 49ers under the lights on Thursday night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the San Francisco 49ers. It's the team of the 80s versus the team of the 90s. The Niners, the Cowboys, they're underway. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone, pushing his way through. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
Dak going to start out going to the air. A throw out wide going to be incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Good footwork at the 30. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That good for 22 and a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Again, it's Elliott. Oh, good move. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 40 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And this is not going to be enough. 2 yards and only got halfway there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run it with Elliott. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. And this defense holds on the Knights' opening drive. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It can change momentum in a big way.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10, right at the 30. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now a 2nd and 10. Purdy looking to throw. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. That's picked up by the Cowboys. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good. Get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On first down, this is McCaffrey. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Purdy now to throw off the play action. That's complete out left to Ayuk. But he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
Defensively going forward, they're going to have to watch out for him on plays just like that. It's a drag route across the field, and they're trying to free him up and let him run after the catch. That won't be the last time we see that play, and it works there to pick up a first down.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Purdy will set up to throw it here. He's got Ayuk once again. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Purdy now to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. He's got it. Touchdown 49ers. Christian McCaffrey from 4 yards out. And the 49ers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
Moody good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive, and it's finished off by a receiving touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Prescott. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Prescott. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now Prescott. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you as a did to me that the defensive front won their play really quickly, meaning the guys in front of him had almost no chance to block him. They were on him in a hurry.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. And San Francisco gets set to go here. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that will bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
A second down throw for Purdy. This one caught by Kittle. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Saw the linebacker Damone Clark coming through with a stop.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Purdy's throw complete there to Thomas.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Samuel.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And there is nowhere there for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Here's Purdy. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Niners first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. Now Purdy with a throw that's caught by Samuel. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Purdy. Touchdown! Brandon Ayuk from 8 yards out. And the 49ers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Moody good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The 10-play drive that time. And it was Brandon Ayuk capping it off with a touchdown reception. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Kevontae Turpin now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Cowboy offense is going to head out now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. He finds his man complete. It's Ferguson. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing, Prescott. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Second and 10. Prescott to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Prescott now from the 50. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, we now proceed to the start of the second half. Back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. On the return, it's Taylor. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The 49er off. To begin quarter number 3. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And the pressure gets to McCaffrey as they stop him short of the line to gain. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They run here with Rico Dowdle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That play ended for a net loss thanks to Javon Hargrave.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Prescott now. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they'll get to him right away as he's taken down right there at the 44. Prescott on 1st down. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Diablo Lenore. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field goal all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Purdy looking to throw on first down here. Touchdown 49ers! Deebo Samuel, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover it? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Moody good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Second down, Prescott able to hit his target lane. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Prescott from the gun. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Eluding the pressure right. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a give, right side McCaffrey, shelling through the defense. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the fourth and final quarter. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. Brought down at the 20.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the 49ers have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Moody good with the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Last year. Disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. And the Niners get there and bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out and let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. In motion left goes a tight end. 2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
3rd and 5. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Good gain there on 1st down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Third down, here's McCaffrey. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to 4th down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And his kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. One side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.